This is the not so glamorous part of camping that we don't often show you. Last night we got completely soaked, which makes it even more worthwhile for where we're heading to next. We are pretty nervous, but we are so excited because we've never actually been on a trip like this before. This will be our second inspiring story.
We're Sarah and Marek, a South African couple who set out to travel as far and wide as our tight budget could take us. After spending 1.5 years in Europe, we came home to an epic van life adventure. Our next trip will take us across South Africa in the hopes of sharing exactly why we love our country so much. So like Marek mentioned, this is our second inspiring story, so while we're shining a light on the incredible work they're doing here, they are spoiling us rotten. We're talking about a 3-day itinerary including things like HIIT classes, massages, archery, meals at some incredible restaurants around here, cycling on the amazing terrain, and wine tasting. We are so excited, but it also means there's a lot to cover, so we're going to film this video in a little bit of a different way and split it up into 3 parts. We're spending the next 3 nights at Chevrells End Bike Hotel, which is Africa's very first bike hotel, but we will tell you more about that later. It's situated just outside of Cape Town in a small town called Grabouw, and we've only just arrived, but we can already tell that this stay will be like nothing we've ever experienced before. Room tour, anyone? First thoughts on coming in, it feels warm, cozy, spacious. So let's start back here. We've got 3 beds and this whole area just feels lovely and spacious. We've got a nice painting for a pop of color in the room. We've got storage space up here, even some extra blankets in case we get cold. We've got this lovely cabinet of drawers. Ooh, there's even a hairdryer in here. You come this way, you've got more storage, place to hang things up, and over here got this amazing bed which looks like a king size, and they've got this divider here especially because this is the family room, so this could be like the parents this side, the kids back there, and then over here we have an aircon in case we feel cold or hot in the night. And lastly, the room that not everyone talks about but everyone needs. So we've got our toilet over here, lovely little hand soap and hand moisturizer, which is a nice little touch, our sink, and over here we've got some nice hooks to hang things on, and the shower, which is just so big and spacious and amazing. Really looking forward to using that. And that about wraps up our room tour. Only question is, who gets the double bed? We're all set. Okay, Peter, could you please introduce yourself and what you are?
Okay, so I'm Peter Silverbauer and I'm the owner and the founder of Chevrells End Bike Hotel in the Almenkerk Valley. Yeah, we also have the only museum for bicycles in Africa. It's kind of one of a kind, everything that we're doing here, and it's very much bicycle related.
What requirements do you have to meet to classify a hotel as being a bike hotel?
So we've kind of defined that in that everything that we do is kind of for the cyclist. So if you compare it to a ski lodge, you'll have a place where you can lock your bike up. You'll have good trails that you can go out to. So you need to be at a trailhead. Although our focus is bicycles, so you can rent bikes, you can have your bike serviced. It's also an adventure hotel. So we don't exclude people that aren't riding bikes. But our focus is very much on mountain biking because this is one of the best places in the Western Cape to cycle, and we hope to make it one of the centres in South Africa that people come to when they want to mountain bike.
What difference are you making in the community in Grabouw and the Almenkerk Valley, and what inspired you to start following that path?
A lot of what's being done has got a long history, and you know, way back in 2005, Trevor Manuel looked at towns that had been badly damaged by apartheid. We've got the Grabouw Development Agency, so a lot of the plans that were set out many years ago are finally coming to fruition, because for everything like that you need people with deep pockets that are keen to develop And you also need a vision that's going to attract the development, and you need everyone to buy in. And we're sitting in a fantastic position at the moment where our council buy into the vision. Most of the people that live here would just love to see things change for the better. And so we've used the bicycle now in recent times to spearhead this. Bicycles through tourism and through transport. We have a lot of youngsters in the town that regularly come to us. We ride together with Quebecer, Roller Motors, Bike Empowerment Network, so Ben Bikes. We've given out about 250 bikes, but not a lot to show for it because a lot of the bikes weren't properly earned. When we started off, there were very firm criteria as to what had to happen. And then it kind of got onto a roll. But then we got to a point where the bikes kept coming and kids were almost getting bikes without really doing the work. That's always a bad thing. If you receive something without earning it, it tends to be taken for granted. So we kind of took a few steps back and now we want to go at it again, but with the right model. So we've been looking at the guys in Plet, Kwano Cycling Academy, and what they do is the guys have to do well in their lessons, they have to do well at school before they're allowed to ride. And then slowly but surely we progress, and so they can enter races and so on if they're doing well in their subjects. And for that we need a champion. It's not something that you can just start and let it go. We've got a lot of enthusiastic people that want to get involved, but there are a lot of youngsters coming up through the community, and I think we're going to find someone there. Part of this as well is, it's all very well having all these bikes out on the roads, but if you don't have buy-in from the entire community, one can have bad accidents. So one of the pilot projects we're going to be doing is with one of the big pack houses. They're going to pay each of their employees a certain amount to ride to work. And we're going to build safe cycling routes all the way to this particular pack house. And that will be the start. And hopefully, as it catches on, people say, I actually get paid to ride to work. And I'm getting fitter, I'm healthier. And it's also a green carbon neutral footprint that one's putting down. So there are really no negatives.
We're standing somewhere very special. Where are we standing right now?
Okay, so we're in the second gallery in the Bike Museum. The first gallery is really the origin of the bicycle, from the von Dryas's first hobby horse, taking us through to about the 1920s. And then we thought we should carry on, but we thought, no, we're missing a trick because there's so many famous South Africans that are linked to bicycles and incredible achievements and so on. So we thought, no, we've got to celebrate bikes in Africa. People from Europe will be intrigued at the first gallery if they don't know that history. But the second gallery is something that people want to know more about. So when you come to South Africa or Africa, you don't want to hear about Europe and America and etc. You want to hear about what's happened here. We've got bikes that are manufactured in South Africa, beautiful bikes, human-powered vehicles, Lloyd Wright, Wimpy van der Merwe, they're incredible achievements. We've got Rian Manson and his epic trip around Africa, and so on and so on. And we've also got, like behind me, Barry Stander, and I think that it's really special that his story gets told and that people like him are remembered. His life was cut short tragically, but one of the greatest talents we ever produced. And there's so many more around here that are still going and still achieving. But I think it's to keep those memories alive. I think that's what excites me, is that, I don't have the knowledge, but so many people come here and they tell us stories and they say, do you know so-and-so, or we must put you in touch with whatever. And they're all excited that someone's had the initiative to actually put this together. I think a lot of people, when they hear museum, they sort of imagine cobwebs and yawning and long boring stories. We want this to always be exciting and just always something else. It will always be a project in progress.
Good morning.
What a way to start the morning. I'm going to feel all of that tomorrow. We worked hard for this breakfast, so it's going to taste even better.
We've just been given an opportunity to ride a pump track. Now this was not in the original schedule, but I mean, we just have to take this opportunity. It is my literal dream. If you don't know what a pump track is, don't worry, we'll show you. Workout class this morning, 3 cups of coffee, and an hour on the pump track. We just need somewhere of slowing down.
We just came back from our massage and it was so relaxing. Annika is so friendly and she just made us feel so calm and peaceful. 10 out of 10. I could just sleep here for the rest of the day. But I won't. On to the next.
Funny story, we all went out for a group ride yesterday and I ended up hitting a rock and doing a full somersault straight over the handlebars and landing flat on my back. So that massage was very needed.
Incredible. If you're ever around this area, Chevrells is the place to be.
Hello.
Sarah.
Sarah, this is famous.
Hi.
Hello.
Marek.
Very pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And nice to meet you. Red and white. Is that the red and white? Is that the white? Press, then ferment, press the red, ferment, then press. It varies from the step. There's a Fiji block there.
How often do you drink?
I always find a reason. So that's how it is.
You didn't even read that, did you? It's like a little journey.
I hope you people have enjoyed the stay, but
Thank
most importantly, the wines. Thank you so much.
What a beautiful spot.
In addition to all the activities that we've already done, every Saturday, just a couple of kilometers down the road from Trails End, you can find the Elgin Railway Market. And you can bet your bottom dollar that those train tracks are not just for show. It's an actual working railway line. And once a month, a train comes up all the way from Cape Town and stops right at the market, and then goes back to Cape Town later that afternoon. I mean, how cool is that? Okay, last activity. What are you doing?
Something I've literally wanted to try for years. I'm so excited.
Okay, so if you're left eye dominant, you'll hold the bow with your right hand.
From the west side, Cali, born and raised right. From the town with the palm trees and good vibes. You know the best ride, soaking up the sunshine. And we hustle cause we tryna live a good life. I'm driving down the coast, homies.
Hey!
We ain't got no worries.
I'm so surprised it actually went on there. Whoa! That was so cool. Can I do
good.
one more?
Go for it.
Like, ooh, we on the man. We get the bag and then
Bottom black.
I'm like,
Let go.
ooh,
You got the bottom.
Okay, you got the bottom black.
Nice! I'm on like a high. That was so fun. Is it recording? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. It's time to say goodbye. And then it's you.
What else?
Well, what you want to say?
Okay.
I know you have to get all that gusto up
Okay.
again, Bombs.
Okay,
Come on.
Come on.
Good morning.
Okay, last activity. Oh, you. I cut your head off there.
And lastly, the room that not everyone talks about, but everyone needs.
The wink. That's such a serious wink.
Was it?
You're like.